Hello there, commanders, and welcome to another Total War Arena news update. Well, just yesterday I recorded a video about about just the 5 maps in Total War Arena, and now we get the news about there'll be 7 more. I mean, we're just getting back to where we were, although we had 13 maps, if I remember correctly, so one's missing. I haven't looked for this article yet, but I do hope it is Teutoburg Forest that is missing. That map is horrible. I mean, the capture points would fix most of the problems with it. Well, not most, but it would fix the camping, more or less. So we'll see. Maybe Marathon. Marathon. I would really like to see Marathon reworked. I mean, Teutoburg Forest as well, because that map is just straight up awful. But Marathon definitely needs a rework. It's atrociously asymmetric and just doesn't. I just don't see Marathon in this new game mode. But we'll see. I'm betting on one of those two. I already see Hadrian's Wall here. Hadrian's Wall is fine, although still needs some tweaks. Maybe we'll see them. We'll see. The epic... sorry. Yeah, Total War Arena will be launched without deleting files on September 23, adding 7 classic battle maps. The epic war strategy competitive online game Total War Arena will be launched on September 23rd without file deletion. Not deleting file deletion. Arara. The game version that is not deleted this time will also be based on the original game content, adding 7 classic battle maps. Plus the original... So, 7 classic and original is different apparently, okay. Well, 7 classic maps, so those that were during Steam and Wargaming, plus the 5 have already been there in the previous 2 Pioneer tests. So the 5 that we discussed in the previous yesterday's news update. Continuing on, a total of 12 if you were not able to add 5 plus 7. 12 real battle maps, historical real battle maps, bringing you back to history. Those thrilling epic battles. Wait, there's not a dot in here. Why is this capitalized? Whatever. So, Hadrian's Wall. Hadrian's Wall, located on the border between England and Scotland today, was the important town that once guarded the northern border of the Roman Empire. Together with the Great Wall of Antonius and the Great German Wall, it forms the ancient Roman Great Wall system. In the hearts of Romans, outside Hadrian's Wall, a fortress that separated civilization and chaos. But with the decline of Rome, Hadrian's Wall was gradually abandoned. Yeah, I wish they would tell us like where the capture zones will be placed and healing zones, and if there were any changes. Because into Hadrian's Wall, since I guess we already have the occasion to talk about this, in Hadrian's Wall I would just lower this wall, because it is unfair that when this side attacks, takes the watchtower, this wall is low, but when the opposite side does exactly the same, this wall is high. It is asymmetric and therefore gives one team advantage and enables tactics for one side that the other side doesn't have, which is unfair when we want to have, no matter which side you're on, you want to have equal chances to win. Not the case on Hadrian's Wall. CA, please fix. Quick feedback, there we go. I mean, I could get into it, but then the video would be 30 minutes long. So yeah, we can go into further discussion about the maps in the comments below. So yeah, let me know what you think about Hadrian's Wall and all the... Oh, we've got Teutoburg Forest and all the other maps that we are going to feature here. So Teutoburg Forest is back. So okay, that leaves my guess as a Marathon not being back. Teutoburg Forest. In 9 AD, the Germanicus general Varus was defeated by Arminius of the Germanic Tribal Alliance, and 3 Roman legions and reserves were lost in the Teutoburg Forest. This was the most tragic failure that ancient Rome encountered in its strongest era, and it also stopped Rome from expanding. It can be said that this battle is an important battle that determines the territory of Western civilization. Rubicon. I mean, everybody likes Rubicon. Rubicon also is asymmetric and therefore imbalanced because of how the watchtower is placed. The south side's watchtower gives you vision of the cliffs that you still otherwise just see just fine. There's a little patch of tall grass here and here, so it gives you that, but that's about it. While this watchtower of the northern side gives you vision over all these tall grass that you cannot look inside otherwise. So the northern side has the advantage over here because their watchtower is better than this watchtower. And just because of that, this side is better. And there's also, you know, base placement, asymmetric. But I mean, distance to watchtower is pretty much the same, so I guess they went for that. But as this watchtower is much stronger, this is weaker. So therefore, Rubicon isn't really perfectly balanced, but it's overall a good map. Nobody really complains about Rubicon, apart from this one argument about watchtower placement of this one being super strong and this one being kind of shit. Continuing on, Rubicon River. In 49 BC, Julius Caesar crossed the Rubicon River with his legion. Although he crossed the river without any fighting, it led to the outbreak of the Roman Civil War. In the end, the Civil War ended with Caesar's victory, and the Roman Republic fell apart. Good. Hashtag Caesar was right in the comments. Issus. That's Oasis. But okay. I mean, they may rename it. Issus. The Battle of Numidia Sirta. In North Africa broke out during the Second Punic War and became the fuse of the Battle of Zama in the end. That kind of fuse. In the end, the famous Roman Scipio defeated the Carthage general Hannibal, establishing... Well, that was at Zama. Zama was the first battle that Hannibal participated in after he got back from the Roman Peninsula. Not Roman. Apennine Peninsula. There we go. Unless I don't remember it correctly. But yeah, it was like Scipio invaded, right? And Hannibal was stuck in Rome. Okay, let's bring Hannibal back to save our ass. And then Hannibal came back. They fought at Zama, and well, Hannibal lost. I think. But I don't remember it exactly. That was a long, long time ago on a random history lesson in a random school that I might have attended or not. Well, continuing on. We have Marathon. Okay, so which map is missing? Marathon. In order to retaliate against Greece, which is unwilling to submit to Persia, Darius sent 600 ships and 25,000 soldiers to attack Greece. On the beach near Marathon, the Greek coalition forces defeated the enemy with courage and strategy. Tactics, not strategy. Thank you very much. Important distinction. Showing the world the wisdom and strength of Greek city-state. Well, so quickly about Marathon. It's essentially the same case as with Rubicon, except it's much worse. We have two watchtowers, one over here, and this watchtower gives you vision over this tiny forest. That's about it. You know, this watchtower gives you vision over almost the entire swamp over here, which is tall grass area, and basically allows you to win every single fight in this area if you have the watchtower, because you just see everything and the enemy is going blindly. Here, doesn't really matter if you see this forest or not, it's mostly irrelevant. So just that placement alone is bad. Plus you have the river here, you don't have a river here, and then this river crosses into another swamp which isn't controlled over by watchtower. That gives you a direct attack from behind of the base. This one only from the front, because here's a hill that you can need to climb onto. So it's totally asymmetric, and this side is usually much better than this one, because when you attack, get this, enemies retreating, right, and you just kill them off in this swamp area. Well, this tower is really useless for the defenders, and this tower is useless for either defenders or attackers. So yeah, Marathon, quite a terrible map. I mean, it plays fine, it's alright and it's fun, but when it comes to tournament where you actually care about balance, Marathon, one of the worst maps in the game. And we discussed it on the podcast as well, where we were fighting on Marathon on each side. SUNTZU had a tactic or strategy to, well, just camp with heavy artillery, make the enemy come to us, and then defeat them. When we were on this side, camp here on the hill. From the cliff, you can easily spot whatever is coming ahead. You don't need the watchtower. Camp with artillery behind this cliff. hit them, kill them, and yeah, easy win. Here on the other side, we wanted to go for the same strategy, but we couldn't, because they're the same. Camp here on the cliff, you suddenly don't see anything that's approaching you. So you would need to hold the watchtower. But then if you hold the watchtower, you maybe put a single unit in there, and then that unit is, you know, without any support, it will die, and you'll be one unit down, and then you don't see anything. So kind of really bad situation. So you cannot camp on this cliff anymore, which is a good thing, but why the hell can you do that without any punishment over here? See? So we ended up camping here in front of the watchtower, which is much more vulnerable position. It can be approached from multiple different angles, and you know, it's much closer to the middle of the battlefield, so we don't have any spotting ahead. So yeah, much difficult position, but we still managed to win, and we won the tournament final 2-0. But just showcasing that the same strategy cannot be applied on both sides, and therefore it's imbalanced. So let's continue on. We have Germania. Hey, there we go, correctly translated. Germania, the powerful German tribal warriors and dense jungle once made the Romans, who were good at fighting in the open plains, feel deep fear. After the Battle of the Teutoburg Forest, the Roman general Germanicus crossed the Rhine to avenge the sacrificed. They weren't really sacrificed, they were just fucking lost. Free Roman legions. Defeated Arminius and his Germanic soldiers and returned as a hero, Roman hero, I guess. For Germania, yeah, I mean, it's the watchtower placement is kind of okay, kind of questionable as well. Not that big of a fan of Germania, the map. Also, I mean, there's watchtower here, which is quite good, and watchtower here, which is quite bad. And I'm really not a fan of the walled bases. Don't like them on Hadrian's Wall. Don't like them even more on Germania. Walled bases are a terrible idea. Really, really terrible. Just promotes camping. I mean, in a new game mode, if you just camp in there, right, then you don't get any other points, you just losing points. So that's fine-ish, but that's a really, really weak excuse to have such a terrible map design as walled bases. In old game mode, it was absolutely atrocious. New game mode, acceptable, but still bad. Okay, the next one, Dragovia. So we're missing Capua. What? Capua was mostly fine. Why did you not bring back Capua? Okay. Gergovia. The Arveni tribe was once an ally of Caesar, but Vincetoli, the son of the tribal chief, launched a rebellion against Caesar and successfully suppressed the Roman army in Gergovia, causing Caesar to flee. Oh. Vincetoli is Vercingetorix. I was like, who the hell is that guy? Yeah, it's like, it's Vercingetorix. Oh yeah, okay. Vincetoli is Vercingetorix. Okay, makes sense. Okay, night 23. Soon you will be able to return to these exciting battlefields as the commander of 4 camps. Again, reinforcing the 4 camps, but again, previously they reinforced the 5 maps. And now they're saying 12. So who knows, maybe the next article will be, well, actually not 4 camps. Maybe 5, maybe 6, maybe 7, but maybe just 4. It's just a leak. And now that I know the origin of the leak, it is actually quite likely that we won't see a 5th faction, or 6th, or 7th. And yeah, that sounded crazy. 3 factions introduced into the game at the same time, almost doubling the amount of faction. That's kind of crazy. So yeah, I really doubt it. If anything, we'll get just 1 faction. That's my guess. But so far, they keep repeating 4 camps, 4 camps, 4 camps, 4 camps. So it seems that they have, as if they have no intention of adding a new faction at the beginning of this closed beta. And since this closed beta is supposed to be 24/7, well, they have to add it at some point. Continuing on. This time, you can choose to reproduce history again, or you can try to change the past ending and win more glory for your camp. With the arrival of non-deleted files on September 23rd, the new battlefield will also show its true appearance. This time, who can become the master of the battlefield? Please log in Total War Arena. Mark your calendars, commanders. Please log in Total War Arena this autumn. Let us fight to the end. Oi, Arena is not supposed to end. It is supposed to be eternal, okay? Do not fuck this up this time. CA, please. So yeah, Capua is not coming back. Unless it will be really weird for them to just leave out one single map for another separate article. I mean, I get it, okay. Talk about the 5 maps we already had, and now talk about 7 more. But yeah, Capua is missing. So maybe Capua is undergoing some kind of a rework, which... Did it need a rework? Maybe a bit. I mean, yeah. I didn't like the fact that one map, one base was inside the city and the other base was out in the open. That already was quite asymmetric. And in the new game mode, I guess this means even more problems. So yeah, makes sense for them to rework that map. But in terms of reworks, I would like to see reworks of Marathon. Absolutely needs a rework. And a rework of Turtlebrook Forest, because you have a valley in the middle with a river and 2 huge hills that are perfect to camp on both sides of the spawns. Yeah, that just invites campers. It's just camper heaven. And I mean, the sea point that will be in the middle will kind of fix that, but the battles still, they will be like super boring. And I just don't want to, you know, oh, campers camp here and here, defend A and B, D and E, and then everything just goes down to who controls C. These battles will be atrociously slow and boring. So yeah, Turtlebrook Forest still absolutely needs a rework. Marathon is just straight up imbalanced, so it also needs a rework. Hudgens Wall, small tweak, just make this wall either smaller or make this wall bigger. One of the two, just make it symmetric for fuck's sake, and it'll be fine. Rubicon, yeah, the watchtowers, I don't know, maybe just remove them and it will be fine. Maybe put them in new places, like maybe here and here, I don't know. Or just, well, do a bigger rework of Rubicon. I would very much welcome that as well. Oasis, yeah, it's mostly symmetrical. What I don't like about Oasis is this cliff that corresponds to it. It's quite campy, so not a big fan of that. Doesn't really promote the aggressive playstyle, but again, capture points are kind of helping with that, so not that big of a problem, but still not a fun. Yeah, Marathon, I said already. Germania, also not big of a fan. I just don't really like that map. But no major issues as for the design of Germania. So, well, apart from the world bases, obviously. And Dragovia, absolutely my favorite map. By far my favorite map. With key positions in the middle that you need to fight for, and then easy push towards the base. I mean, also apart from the cliffs that are here. I mean, this side doesn't really have such cliffs. This side has one cliff over here that is like super powerful. It is kind of asymmetric as well. So not fan of this position at all, just remove it. And well, those cliffs also just get rid of them. Although they're not that good because they're not on elevation like this one is. But they have a little elevation over here, which is not as strong as this one. But it is also kind of asymmetric. So I'm not a fan of that particular thing, but it's a really small nitpick. Overall, Dragovia is the best map design we have in Total War Arena, and all the maps should be really modeled after this design. Well, let's quickly go back to the previous article, since we are talking about all the maps, so I might as well just ramble for 2-3 minutes longer. Alpis Graya, yeah, pretty good map. Doesn't really have that many camping positions. Well, there is this watchtower and this watchtower. This one is kind of better, but there are some weird rocks here in front of it, so it blocks any artillery shots. I mean, fuck artillery anyway, so yeah, there's that. And there's a small rock over here, but doesn't really get in that in the way as much. So yeah, this cliffs here close to the base, not a big fan of them, but they're not that big of a problem. They're quite accessible from the flanks, and you're fighting here for the middle. You can easily go to them and tag them quite easily. So yeah, they're more or less okay. No big issues with Apis Gray overall. Pretty good map. Apart from this forest here, because once you enter here for the middle, right, this forest, it leads all the way back to the base. Here, oh, nope. No forest here suddenly. No cover for you. Why, when this side is attacking, it has cover, while when this side is attacking, it doesn't have cover? Why? It's just straight up unfair. One or the other. Just do it. Make it fair, CA. Add some little trees, happy little trees. Paint them. There's no mistake, only happy mistakes. Happy accidents, I mean. Thermopylae, I mean, yeah, kind of campy. Issue with these cliffs. Really don't like them. But now they're far away from any capture zones, so it's okay. And again, forest here, it extends. You can go all the way here through the forest and be undetected within the forest until you emerge right next to the base. Can't do the same for the other side. Here, this forest here is connected, but this one here isn't connected. Just make it for symmetric, okay? Make it fair for both sides. Stop trying to look cool and just make it fair, okay? Just make it fair. That's my feedback for Thermopylae. Not a fan of this cliff, so it'd be cool to see them gone. But not that big of an issue right now, since we have capture points. And Salernum, also one of the better map designs. City is pretty much absolutely fine. I would just remove the burning buildings. Or are they here in this new Chinese version? I don't know, but I don't like when the smoke gets in front of my camera and just clouds my vision. A little bit of an issue here with this elevation here and the placement of this these watchtowers, but overall the fight for the middle is quite fair. And well, also introduction of the capture points kind of fixes the problems I had with these areas over here, like this and the corresponding area over here. We're not a big fan of them. They were kind of favoring the defense instead of favoring the attackers. But yeah, overall, Salernum also one of the best maps in the game. And I know within the community, pretty much everybody likes Salernum. So yeah, and Capitoline Hill, also a pretty good map. Pretty symmetric, although this forest kind of here, I mean, corresponds to these. I would still just make it a little bit more symmetric. But overall, it's a good map, nobody really complains, and it's a low level map. Can you get it on high levels? I don't know. But yeah, it's overall not that bad. It gets a pass from me, but it could be slightly improved. So yeah, please, yeah, rework those maps, especially those that really need a rework, like Marathon, like Teutoburg Forest, and do some smaller tweaks to the other maps. And yeah, let me commanders, let me know down in the comments below if you agree or disagree with what I've been saying here about the map balance. Do you think you'll only see 4 factions, or will we see more factions in the next test starting on 23rd of September? And if you have your own feedback about the maps, feel free to provide them in the comments as well, or you can visit our Discord and the other links we have in the description below. Yeah. And help us improve Arena and bring it back to the West that way. But now I have been rambling for a very long time, so with nothing more to add, I will see you on Arena's battlefields, Commanders.